Most new drivers are reactive in the way they drive. They react to whatever they encounter on the road. But is it good to be reactive? Well, yes and no. Yes, it's good to be able to react to what you encounter, but also no, it's far better to already have begun to react to a developing situation before you have to. Defensive driving means to be both proactive and reactive. Being proactive means taking action in anticipation of potential hazards. And there are two methods for being proactive. The first method is to be proactive based on what you assume another road user will do. In the absence of open communication, this is your only option. But the second method for being proactive is to base it on information you've given to other road users and received from them on what they're going to do. When the information is available, this is the better method and is far more reliable than basing your actions on assumptions. The goal of this portion of the class is to encourage you to be less reactionary and more proactive. That's where the tool of anticipation comes in. We've already covered the three key elements in your anticipation toolkit. 1. The space cushion. Remember, it's a proactive way to give yourself time and space to take effective action when the unexpected happens. 2. Then we have those open lines of communication. The only good way to receive and to provide the accurate and reliable information you and other road users need to be proactive. And finally, our third tool is scanning, of course. It's the tool that helps identify potential hazards in time to take effective action in a more measured way. By employing a space cushion, open lines of communication, and scanning, you have the tools you need to anticipate. But there's one more tool I'd like to share, and that is who's on the road. A moment ago, I mentioned that communication allows you to replace assumption with information as to the other driver's intentions. Does that mean you should never assume what another road user will do? Once again, it's yes and no. Yes, whenever you can replace an assumption with information, it's much safer. On the other hand, when you're surrounded by a myriad of road users, you can't open lines of communication with all of them. In this case, what you have to do is develop a set of assumptions of what they might do. In order to do that, you have to be aware not only of your immediate environments, but of those underlying circumstances. So who are you sharing the road with right now? Here are some examples of potential questions to ask yourself. Is it rush hour, or is today a getaway day before a holiday weekend, when other motorists might be less patient and more erratic? Is there a big game happening? And if so, what effect will that have on congestion and driver behavior? Are there more children, elderly pedestrians, bicycles, or other vulnerable road users in the area, or likely to be? Even when you don't see any, are you near a school, a hospital, or a construction zone? What time of day and day of the week is it? And would there be a more impaired driver than on other days or times of the day? Are there teen drivers nearby? Who's in the car with them? How are they behaving? If one driver speeds and drives aggressively near you, and there are others following who behave the same way? As I said, these are only a sample of questions, but they give you an idea of how anticipation involves more than taking in the physical environment. It also means scanning the human environment. We'll finish up our look at the tool of anticipation by discussing how to share the road within this human environment.